heartwarming news came from Cha Eun-woo, an actor and ASTRO idol, who is now undergoing his military service. In the midst of busy and heavy routine as an active soldier, Eun-woo finally delivered a confession that made her fans, AKHIRNYA, around the world shed tears. The confession took place spontaneously inside the barracks, without cameras, without a script, and full of sincerity. Since entering his military service, Cha Eun-woo is known for being disciplined, humble, and quick to adapt to his new environment. His colleagues described him as calm but considerate. He does not talk much, but is always ready to help anyone in need. He was always on time and never complained. Even if the task is hard, he still finishes it with a smile, said one of the soldiers who shared a barracks with him. Everyday life in the military is obviously much different from the entertainment world. There were no cameras, no filming schedule, and no stage glitter. Eun-woo goes through a routine like any other soldier, getting up early, physical training, eating together, and resting at a predetermined time. But behind that calmness, there was a sense of longing and fatigue that he kept to himself. One night, after an intense workout, Eun-woo sits down with some of her barracks mates in the break room. In a calm atmosphere, he suddenly opened the conversation in a quiet but clear voice. His words made the atmosphere of the night turn into silence. "I don't want to worry anyone," he said slowly, "but there are times when I feel very tired. Not tired physically, but tired at heart. Sometimes I miss the days when I could walk without a spotlight, drink coffee without being photographed, or just sit with my family at home." He paused, took a breath, then continued, "I entered the military because I wanted to grow and learn to be stronger. But I also realized that growing up isn't always easy. There are many things that make me think, am I really as strong as people think I am?" Some soldiers look down, silently listening. They know behind the figure that always looks perfect on the screen, there is a human being who also feels tired and homesick. "Every time I feel like giving up, I remember the messages from AKHIRNYA," she continued. "Your letters, pictures, and words always give strength. You may not realize it, but every time I read that message, I feel like I'm not alone." He smiled a little, looking at his colleagues. "I will come back as a stronger version, not just for my career, but for the people who believe in me." I wanted to show that even pain can be part of growth. When one of her colleagues asked her what she missed the most, Eun-woo replied softly, "Little things. Drinking hot coffee in the morning, walking in the park without anyone recognizing me, eating with my family, and seeing the sincere smile of a fan. All those little things feel so big when you can't feel them." He closed his speech with a sentence that made all those present speechless. "If you later see me staring blankly, it does not mean that I am sad. I'm just gathering the strength to go again." After that night, the atmosphere in the barracks became closer. The previously awkward soldiers began to open up to each other. Many claimed to be inspired by Eun-woo's honesty. "He made us realize that it's okay to feel tired. The important thing is to keep moving," said one colleague. But the story doesn't stop at the barracks. A few days later, news of Eun-woo's sincere confession spreads online. While there was no official video, snippets of the story shared through letters from fellow soldiers were enough to make the hashtags #StayStrongEunwoo and #AKHIRNYA trending across multiple platforms. Thousands of AKHIRNYA flooded social media with messages of support. Many write emails, draw fan art, and even make compilation videos with messages of encouragement for Eun-woo. "We are waiting for you to return with pride," wrote one international fan on X, Twitter. Cha Eun-woo's admission to the military is not only about fatigue or longing, but also about determination. He proved that behind the perfect image of a star, there is a person who remains human, who struggles, feels pain, but does not stop trying. The story of Cha Eun-woo's admission to the military continues to be a hot topic in various online communities. After her heartfelt confession spread, waves of support poured in from all over the world. Fans known as AKHIRNYA flooded social media with messages full of love and encouragement. But behind the public spotlight, Eun-woo's life in the barracks slowly begins to show significant changes. After that night of emotional confessions, the atmosphere in the barracks where Eun-woo is stationed feels different. Her colleagues admitted that Eun-woo seemed more open and smiled more often. He began to talk more, joke, and even entertain other soldiers at recess. "He became like a brother to us," said a fellow soldier. "At first he seemed very quiet and kept his distance, probably for fear of causing trouble to others. But after that night, we started to see her real warm side. Some colleagues say Eun-woo often encourages those who feel tired or homesick. He always said, "It's okay to feel tired, that's a sign we're human." Recalls a young soldier who now serves as a role model. One of the most touching things is Eun-woo's new habit every night before bed. He wrote little notes in his diary, something he began to do after receiving a stack of letters from Aroha. The note was not just an outpouring of heart, but a form of gratitude and reflection of himself during his service. A few weeks after her confession, Eun-woo's headquarters began receiving letters and small packages from all over the world. There were letters from Japan, Indonesia, America, and Brazil, all with messages of support and prayers for Eun-woo's health and happiness. One of the most touching letters came from a young fan in Indonesia who wrote, "Appa, I know these times are not easy, but I believe you will go through them strongly. Thank you for teaching us not to give up even when the world is hard. I too am struggling in my life, and your words inspire me every day." Another letter came from a mother in Korea who said that her son became more diligent in studying because he made Eun-woo a role model. He said he wanted to grow up to be a person as good as you. She wrote, getting the letters, Eun-woo reportedly feels overwhelmed and sheds tears. According to a soldier with the unit, Eun-woo read all the letters intently, even writing short replies to some of them. She said, "If they take the time to write to me, I'd like to sincerely reply too," the colleague said. That night she wrote a few sheets under the dim light and looked completely touched. Not only fans, some fellow artists also provide support. One of them came from Moon Jae-young, Eun-woo's co-star in the drama True Beauty *, who wrote a short message on her social media account. Cha Eun-woo is someone who always gives 100% in everything she does. I'm sure she'll come back stronger and shinier than ever. The message was greeted with excitement by netizens, especially fans who recalled the chemistry of the two on the screen. In addition to Moon Jae-young, several ASTRO colleagues also reportedly sent personal letters to Barack, including Jin and MJ, who wrote meaningful words of support. A source from Fantajo's agency even mentioned that they regularly make sure Eun-woo is in good shape. "We received word from the military that he is doing his job very well. We are all proud of him," revealed the representative of the agency. In the midst of the overwhelming support, Eun-woo kept his humility. He does not want his confession to be perceived as a form of weakness, but as a human self-reflection. On one occasion, speaking to a barracks colleague, he revealed that his time in the military made him understand the simple meaning of being together. "Here, everyone is the same," he said as he sat under the night sky, looking at the stars. "There are no celebrities, there are no high ranks. There are only fellow human beings fighting for the same cause." It made me learn a lot of things. His colleagues said that Eun-woo was often the arbiter when there were misunderstandings between soldiers. He doesn't like to see people fighting. Sometimes he says, "We're all tired enough here. Don't add to the burden by blaming each other." His words are always reassuring.